that Alan. Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
okay.
that's better.
Use reflective lights off the wall.
I don't think that works.
Indirect lighting, Chad.
Not in the camera.
Direct lighting is not Chad's friend.
Whatever it works. Okay.
Okay. Well, welcome to the behind-the-scenes recording of our podcast. If you want the full version,
woo!
Check it out on carnivoretheology.com.
Yep.
Well, I'm not going to do the big intro because, I find that's just redundant in our video recording. It's behind the scenes. This is the down and dirty version, right?
When Chad's involved, it certainly
When
is.
Chad's involved. Chad,
he's currently wearing soiled pants.
I was going to say, Chad, can you tell us about your pants right now?
Did you soil your pants, Chad?
No.
Yes, you did, you liar.
I did. I did, in fact, drop some spaghetti on my pants, but I used my Tide pen.
Soiled them.
A Tide pen. An entire Tide pen.
I used my Tide pen. I did use a fair bit of Tide pen, and I've cleaned them up.
You know what's cool is that Chad's doing a podcast, which by definition is audio, with a video behind the scenes that he's only seen from the shoulders up, and he ran to get that Tide pen, so there would be no potential at all of anybody seeing spaghetti.
It was yeah.
Vanity, thy name is Chad.
Well, guys, I'm super excited though. It is season 4 of Carnivore Theology, and this is our very special Wayne Gretzky episode.
Ooh,
number 99.
Is going to be our guest today.
Gorgeous. Love it.
He was going to come on the show, and then he saw that Chad Graham was part of it, and he declined.
No, I'm pretty sure it had something to do with the Calgary Flames fan we have.
Oh,
yeah, well, he's okay with people that are consistent. He didn't like the fact that Mr. Chad there flip-flops back and forth. I'm a Calgary fan!
The bandwagoner.
No, wait, never mind. They lost the game. I'm an Edmonton fan! Oh, wait, I'm a Calgary. Yeah.
I actually prefer to think myself as a Stanley Cup champion fan.
There you go. That's good.
Oh,
he's a fan of the game. That's what they call it. I'm a fan of the game. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of the game. I actually watch every single game that comes on television, and as many as I can get to live.
Good for you. That's
Chad's
really good.
hockey fluid.
Hockey. He's team fluid. There you go.
Yeah. Well, hey,
It's called hoagie.
Next episode is a special episode because it's our 100th episode.
Mm-hmm.
And we have been working
Got life?
very hard. We left Chad out of it because we knew if we brought Chad in, we'd be distracted. And
Very distracted.
But hey, if you're watching the video, here's a little sneak peek.
Wow, look at that.
It's
so
not
cool.
It's not even done yet. This is
Not
just
done
fresh
yet.
off the printer.
Man, that's cool. So go check out our video. And I think we're even going to throw out a CT short to introduce you to our prize for 100 episodes.
Yeah.
I like prizes.
The prizes and
Have we figured out how to give away the prize yet?
No, I think the simplest thing is you make a comment on one of the videos on Facebook, you email us, anything. You say hi.
Say hey,
anything.
do anything.
Do anything, and you'll enter in the prize. We just want you share. I'll give you lots more entries. Yeah, you share something we do, you'll get more entries. Maybe 10 times as many.
We are not above bribes.
Hey, you just called it as you see it, eh?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yep. No, we want to do something special.
I'll cheat for you.
Yeah. Al and Chad are hoping to bribe me into actually making one of these for them.
Yeah, the prize is so cool. I want one. I want one so bad.
Yeah.
Please, sir, may I have a prize?
Well, Al actually did something towards helping with the prize.
Yeah, I did. I designed it.
Yeah. So he's the brains. I'm the production specialist.
But I'm the consumer, so it's all good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go. Appreciate
That's
that.
good.
Quality control.
Yeah.
That's
Quality control. You could bring it the same time you bring my pen.
Oh, yes, the pen that I forgot. I drove 1,200 kilometers to visit Chad, and I forgot his graduation gift I made for him a year and a half ago.
Canada Post, man. Just Canada Post.
But they charge $13 to ship a pen.
Oh, I know.
Really? That's freaking ridiculous.
It is.
Put it in a standard envelope.
It
You know what
doesn't
it's like
fit
to be
through
an
the little
author?
thing.
know, it's like to be an author in Canada, and like it's just ridiculous to try to send anything anywhere. I can print the book for $5 and then ship it for 15.
Why don't you print it in location?
Hey, so how are you guys? How's the summer been? It's been about 3 months since we've recorded an episode.
Yeah, Chatterino, how you doing?
Well,
good.
He's well. Is
4
well
seasons.
With Chad.
4 seasons. He's done that same joke.
So Al, how are you?
I want to hear how Chad is.
All right, fine. Chad is doing very well. Chad had a great summer. I was very busy. I got a summer internship at a law firm and worked there, basically learning all the elements of how practical business of the firm works, opening up files for clients and
getting coffee for the owners.
Yeah,
joining that underground skulls thing where you have to get the tattoo in weird places and
all those things. That's pretty much what I did.
Right.
I didn't do any actual work. I just joined a secret society and got some robes.
All right, far out.
So that was. But apart from that, so I did that and coached my little guy Titus in ball hockey. And
did you win? That's all that matters.
Actually, won the city championship.
All right.
I chalk it up to great coaching.
All right.
So, best 6-year-old in whatever division he was in.
Go team. What? Go. What's his team?
It was the Oil Kings.
Nice. Go Oilers. Yeah.
Oil Kings, buddy.
Oil Kings. It's like a mixture of Wheat Kings versus Oilers.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, Al, how was your summer?
My summer took a bunch of dips here and there. It was a rough summer. My wife wasn't feeling very well. We spent some time in the hospital, and at the same time, I haven't had a lot of time off. So for me, it was a stressful time. Coveting your prayers. Thank you very much for your prayers over the summer. Talking a lot with my friends. Really appreciating Chad and Steve for being there for me. And but as we're coming into the fall, things seem to be on an upswing. There's a lot more positivity, a lot more joy, a lot less hospital trips, and it seems to be pretty good. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. It's been a very trying time, and so I'm really glad to be back into Carnivore Theology and back with you guys and back doing more work for this. It's fun. It's not even work. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, do you notice when Al gets big when he's talking? If you look at the degrees he has on his wall over his left shoulder, does the bottom one look crooked to you?
It is. Or the middle. Actually, is it I think the middle one and the bottom one are crooked.
Well, something's wrong. Oh, that's better. No, It is the middle one too. Oh, and the top one. They're all. You've got to go over there and adjust those. Before we can continue.
No, I can't.
Hey, we're not going to tell Chad how we do it, but there's actually a button that says like "make you better" in the program we're using.
Yeah.
It makes you smoother and look better. So we're using that, and Chad isn't. But it didn't work for you enough, Al. There.
That's right. All right,
Yeah.
Steve, how are you doing? How you been doing for the last
good.
3 months?
You're
a teacher, so obviously you've been pina coladas and beaches. And
the summer is easy for teachers.
For some teachers, unless you're an administrator of an online school, which seems to be just as busy in the summer as ever. I took 10 days off in a row, which is awesome. We went to family camp, a family Bible camp, met some really neat people, had great times there, and I think we'll try to do that again next year because it was such an enjoyable time for the kids and ourselves and just a fellowship with other Christians. And
awesome.
I got to meet some of my former students who I didn't know were going to be there. They just, it was really cool. So I got to see them and how well they're doing. So that was awesome.
So were any of them, none of them have been in jail, basically? You consider that a success?
I do work in special education. So
you see, Steve's got this underground thing where he takes his students, he gets them interested in really expensive projects like carpentry and flying helicopters, so they can't afford to do drugs or get into any kind of trouble.
Oh, that's genius! Yeah,
they have no time whatsoever to get into any kind of mischief.
No money.
Hobbies.
Yeah, it's really awesome. See a few of these students and just I met some new friends and some interesting people that I'm it's going to try keeping in touch with them. So it's good.
Cool. Very cool.
Well, should we get rolling here?
You know what? I'm really looking forward to this. The plan we came up with for season 1 or season 4, episode 1, I think it's a cool plan. I'm looking forward to it.
Starting all over again? Wait, what?
I know. That's enough.
It's a reboot.
This little piece from my mic actually looks like a puppy.
What was in your Coke, man?
So we're sitting around And lots of stuff happened this summer.
Man.
And we want to just quickly pound through some of the important things in news that, at least from our lists, and just what's the responses that Chad and Al, kind of from a Christian point of view, want to say about these things. What's there to be aware of? Is there should we be running to the hills and screaming apocalypse and holding up signs and all that stuff?
Oh,
right?
no.
Asking the mountains to fall on us? I'm pretty sure that's in the Bible. Right?
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Well. And I'll just go to read through some of the things from the list, and if you guys want to just pipe up about it and keep it real short, and we'll just kind of keep on going down the list.
Tell you what, we'll do this evenly, where Chad starts first on the first question, and I'll start on the second question. We'll try to take turns, so that I'm not sitting here staring at Chad's forehead the whole time.
Oh, that's why you reorganize the list, Al. That's brilliant. Okay.
Why would you? What? Oh, I'm confused again.
So North Korea is now crazy in the news. Every day we hear about rocket tests and intercontinental ballistics and nuclear warheads. Is it a threat to the West? Is this one of the signs of the apocalypse? Like, what's going on here, guys?
North Korea is evil. When I used to live in Seoul in South Korea, while I was there, the North made several attempts at infiltrating into the South.
Mm-hmm.
They have tactical swimmers that try to swim down the big river that goes into the city of Seoul, and they've tried to assassinate the southern president. They shoot rockets and artillery shells into South territory kind of all the time. They take pot shots at them from the fences and the border. There's still a state of war. There's just a ceasefire between Canada included, the United Nations policing forces from the 1950s, and the North and its allies, which have included China. And so there are some pretty significant issues there, but they're really, it's an elevation, I guess, but it's really nothing new. That's what they do. So I don't think it's apocalyptic. This is wars and rumors of wars, and these things should go on and continue to go on, and this is not yet the end, as someone smart said.
Right.
Yeah. You know what? More and more, I've been thinking of processing this idea of some people, some nations are legit evil. It's really interesting. Like, you think in this modern framework, you want to just give everybody a backstory. Like right now, they're trying to make a Joker movie because Joker needs a backstory. You can't just have an agent of evil and chaos who just came out of nowhere. He has to have a reason, and it's got to have some dark reason for why he does what he does. And so we're trying to give all this backstory and reasoning to every evil thing, whereas in truth, when in a world of sin, chaos, disorder, and selfishness, evil, by definition, doesn't make sense. And it just can't make sense. And there are some nations that are led by evil. There are some people that are evil. They do evil. And when we try to find their backstory and try to find their reasoning and try to figure out why it's good to them, sometimes there isn't. Sometimes it's just plain evil. Yeah. I think the other tack on this is the fact how confused people are. Every other day, they're coming out with a reason to be afraid and a reason why this is a big deal. And then someone else will come out and be like, actually, no, don't worry about that. It's totally fine. And it's like this self-perpetuating headline generating machine.
And isn't that the big picture, though, Al? Like, the world really is a scary place. We read in the New Testament that those who are without Christ, they live in fear of death all their lives.
Yeah.
And big scriptural theme in the Old Testament is how God is the one that calms the chaos and brings order to disorder. So we need to turn to Christ when we have these fears. And what is our only comfort in life and in death? That we are not our own, but belong to God, body and soul. As the old catechism says.
Yep.
Okay.
The next up is Steve's special issue.
No. I get to ask the questions there, Chad.
You know what? It's funny because now I don't like this format because I want to talk more about the first one. We should.
Okay, let's go quick. Sorry, I'm being bad. I'm thinking too much. Yeah.
Actually, I'll back up. If any of these topics makes you go, hey, I want to hear more about this, let us know, and we can make it a full feature-length episode instead of a broken piece. So that was on my notes. I skipped it. But yes, if you want more of any of these topics, please message us on Facebook, comment on Twitter, and we will go into deeper. So, next one, Sologamy.
Sologamy.
That sounds like sandwich. That sounds like sandwich.
Sologamy.
Anyways, it's a new trend of marrying your own self. What's with that?
It's quite the opposite of a sandwich, actually. It'd be one piece of bread. try to make a sandwich with one piece of bread. That doesn't make any. Well, I guess you could fold it. I don't know. Understand what I'm even saying.
It's like making a sandwich with just mayonnaise.
You know what though? I mean, it does make sense, because once you take the definition of marriage and you just kind of hand it over to anybody to call it whatever they want, they really can. And so you have this morphing of marriage into not the biblical definition, not even the Webster's definition of marriage, but into whatever you feel like marriage should be. And so people are taking the trend of self-identification of making the world about myself and everything about myself and loving myself and self-help and stuff like that, and just taking that to the natural conclusion of therefore I will be my own spouse, which is odd. In other words, I don't need anybody. I don't need God. I don't need a husband. I don't need a wife. I don't need nothing. I just need me, and get out of my way. I think it's wrong. I think it's silly and stupid and ridiculous. Chad?
There's a country song in the 1990s that had a lyric that said, he walks over and turns up the radio and starts to dance by himself. He's a man that looks so good, I guess he just can't love nobody else. People thought it was a funny song. Apart from the fact that it's so...
And now it's a biography.
Of my life. It's Sologamy is weird. Next question.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
No, God does intend for some people not to follow the traditional path of sort of married kids and whatever. There's a call to a celibate life in order to serve the kingdom of God. But my understanding of the Sologamy movement is that really what it's about is self-love in a kind of an odd way, and a God-denying way. So in theory, the concept probably isn't in and of itself evil or wrong, but the way that it's expressed today is it's weird.
Yeah, I mean the Paul the apostle, disciple. No, what's the proper term? Paul from the Bible.
He's an apostle. Saint Paul.
Apostle. He chose not to marry because he wanted to serve the church more. So, hey, LGBT. I heard there's a new term for that. Soggy. Sexual orientation, gender identity. What's that about?
Oh, wait, this is when I'm supposed to go first?
It's your turn. Yeah, go for it.
The sexual orientation, gender identity appears to be a new movement of diversity training that aims to serve the LGBTQ plus community in helping people to understand the issues that are going on there, creating curriculums and ways of thinking for schools and institutions and individuals and so on. I think it's an extension of it. The questions about the definition of terms have been in flux and been in a battle for many years, actually, within and without of the movement. So I don't really have too much to say about that.
Yeah, I'll throw into that exact same thing, is that, as Christians, we hold to a biblical standard of gender and to marriage, and we have a foundation. We build our lives on the foundation of Scripture. With when you have someone that's hyper liberal or whatever going crazy with this stuff, even their own terms start to not make sense for them, and they the group that started the movement is now they're way far behind. For example, LGBT, lesbian, bisexual. Well, even that's a problem now, because they don't believe you can be bi. There's not two. So if there's many genders, how can you be bisexual? You need to be multi-pansexual. So even their own by their own definition, they've got issues within there. So they have to keep sliding down into different things. So it's a big mess. And so of course you need a whole group that's trying to keep up with this stuff. Yeah, it's right. And I feel very sad for those who are trying to firmly plant their feet in midair like that.
When you can understand from people who have been marginalized and suffered and been on the outside of things, they want something to bring hope and bring acceptance. Yep. And the more that this stuff comes mainstream in society, the more they hope that they're going to find peace within themselves. And I think, Christians are looking for a lot of the same things. And it's really a question of where we're looking for our hope and happiness. And I think that is really at the root of all of that. So.
No, but unfortunately, when you look back to the gay champions of the 70s, 80s, they're the sticks in the muds who aren't keeping up with the new trends, right? Like they're becoming ousted from their own group.
Right. Yeah. Moving on. MMA. We had the Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather fight this summer. Did either of you watch that?
No, I watched a couple of the highlights. That was interesting, but
it was a good fight.
Yeah.
Kind of entertaining.
So, is that something that's culturally relevant to theology in the Bible?
Absolutely.
Nah.
I mean, yeah, but yes, boxing, fighting, it's in there, man. It's really important.
It's a joke. I was being funny.
Ha
Al has a shirt that says bacon. It's distracting me right now. I'm feeling hungry. Thank you. Quit wiggling your bacon.
Is this better, Chad?
He's got his crooked picture frames. He's got his bacon. Like, how am I supposed to do this?
Man.
Okay. Is that all you want to say about that? Oh.
In truth, I mean, the Christian church has a real problem with this kind of stuff. We talked about this in a previous episode, whether or not can Christians do sports. Go check out that episode, so we don't need to do it here. But
good episode.
This is a big deal. I mean, it made the guy, like, he's like a billionaire now. Like, it's crazy. Like, the amount of attention was given to this was
huge.
Incredible. So, yeah, it's a big deal. Yeah, we should probably talk about why sports are important, whether or not we should be beating the snot out of each other for money. But at the same time, it was a big deal, and there's some positives that come out of it and some negatives.
Hey, would you let someone punch you in the face for $1 billion? Floyd Mayweather is 50 now. He's had 50 professional boxing fights, and his earnings from those fights have now totaled $1 billion. And this fight, he has some other royalties that are coming in, so he's going to exceed that. Plus, he also gambles on his own fights. You can't gamble against yourself because then you're throwing the fight.
Right,
you're allowed to bet on yourself, and so he's done that. I read a report, and I'm not sure if it's accurate. You have to check this one out. But I think I heard that he bet an extra $250 million on himself on this fight.
Oof.
Well, the odds are pretty high in
or won that amount or whatever. Anyway, so yeah, he's done tremendously well.
Incredible.
Yeah, I watched the news updates and highlights and stuff, and that's about all that I did with that myself. So
the Apostle Paul, by the way, uses boxing specifically in the New Testament as an illustration of the Christian life. And it was a huge part of Greco-Roman culture. It's interesting that it's never condemned in the New Testament. Sport itself doesn't seem to be a problem. And like Cal said, we did a whole episode on that. But there are questions about the money, the idolatry, and all these other things. But it was a good fight.
Good. Yep. Okay. So one of the signs of the apocalypse is fires all over BC, Alberta, and the west coast of the United States.
There you go.
So there's crazy amount of smoke and fires.
Well, being one of the signs of the apocalypse, I think it's time for us to run for the hills.
I was in Kelowna for a week.
They're all the ones that aren't on fire.
Be quiet. Be quiet for a minute. Let me speak for once. I was in Kelowna for 6 days for work, and there's so much smoke that at 5 o'clock in the evening, this is in August, I could not see the sun. There's so much smoke.
Wow.
So serious fires we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Here. So
yeah.
What's that about? Is global warming, all this? What's going on here, guys?
There have been forest fires for a long time, and there will continue to be forest fires for a long time coming. And there's no blame to be given other than the fact that we live in a world of sin, and the world by its nature is designed to use forest fires to reclaim sections of forest to make things better. So it's not, unfortunately, we decided to plant a bunch of towns in the way. So we got to deal with that. I'm very thankful. We should be, we always think about these things from that side. Oh, the world is coming to an end, and why is this is all bad? But think about the blessings that we've been given with, firefighters and with all the technology to get out of there, and warning signs and space radar satellite stuff to tell us where it's coming and where it's going. And there's a lot of blessing out there, and people working really hard to deal with this kind of thing. And it's an opportunity for them to shine, for churches to, rise up and help, for people to talk about really important topics like the end of life and the importance of stuff. It's not all bad.
Yeah.
That was my turn to go first, Al. But anyway, no, it wasn't. I think it was 1994, 1995 maybe. I can't remember. I was in Penticton during the Garnet Fire. And we were evacuated from our home. Places near to us were burnt down. It was kind of a crazy time, dangerous. And we woke up one morning, couldn't see the neighbor's house. When we were able to come back to our home, there was a layer of soot over it that was thick. We had to shovel it all away. This is crazy stuff. And in that case, it was actually started by someone, probably Garnet. Something Garnet. I believe the story, I got to look back again, was that the kid was the son of a firefighter, which made it kind of disturbing, but he was kind of obsessed with fires. And so Yeah, sometimes these things happen. As I will say, they're not really anyone to blame. Well, sometimes there are, and there are also other issues that go along with that. The way we've developed and resourced, we can put ourselves in harm's way. But generally speaking, that's right. These are not signs of the apocalypse. And isn't it great that we have the tech to deal with it? All right, let's get through like 5 more of these fast.
Okay, go fast.
You want to go fast? Okay. Legal immigrants coming to Canada. How do we quickly respond? We've talked about this before, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, we've already talked about this. The church should be welcoming people who come to Canada. The government has an obligation to keep us safe. Next.
I like that. Hurricanes, are they God's judgment or Trump's fault?
Ooh, that's L.
Hold on. You missed 2 of them.
Oh, yeah,
Wasn't ready for that. You missed 2. Go back.
Oh, yeah, they're better.
Okay, we'll answer this Hurricanes one, and then we'll go back.
Hurricanes, L.
Hurricanes, are they God's judgment or Trump's fault? I love that how many people are calling it Trump's fault. It just boggles the mind that there are people who are saying, like, if only the government would have done, I don't know, done what? Like, really? Okay. So
move the country.
Are they God's judgment? No, because we've had hurricanes for a very long time. And yes, the world is affected by sin, and that part of his judgment is that it corrupted the whole world and created problems like hurricanes. So, but not specifically. Yeah. It's not that there's gay people down there, so God's going to kill them, or Trump has villas in Florida, so let's wipe it off the map. God says no, it doesn't work that way. That's not what it's all about.
Okay. Fake news. Is there
Carnivore Theology is not fake news. You'll always get the straight stuff here. We're the No Spin Zone. We're the most trusted podcast in North America. We give it to you straight.
Darn
the side of steak.
Yes, there are a lot of fake news. But what is fake news? That's being used as a PR phrase, as a virtue signaling phrase. It's gotten crazy.
Crazy.
To wade into it too deeply would be impossible. So let me just give it to you this way. Everybody who is in media, just like you and me, has a bias, and we expect them to let their biases out. The difference between that and fake news is when they act on their biases to create reality and present it to us. And CNN in particular has been caught publicly, notoriously doing this on a regular basis over the last little while. It's very distressing. And we see that from other groups as well. It's certainly not limited to them. And I don't really mean to point them out specifically, just that one's so accessible. Go on the internet, pull up some YouTube videos. You'll see the stuff that they've been doing, and it's pretty bad. And I think as Christians, we should be concerned about that because truth is a value. And we need to not share fake news stories. We need to check our sources, and we need to value truth.
Absolutely, 100%.
Awesome. Okay, last one?
No, there's tons more.
You want to keep on going? Okay. Adam West, he died.
You missed Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, Batman died?
Yeah, Adam West died, man.
When?
Like a while back.
Like a month or so ago?
Yeah, isn't that sad? No.
I know.
Holy heartache, Batman.
No. See, and this is, again, I forgive me, this is going to sound horrible, but, for Adam West's family, this is bad and all the rest of that stuff. But you know what? He's an old man and he died. And no, that shouldn't be a huge shocker. He didn't die. He didn't have a bad life. He wasn't a horrible guy. We celebrate him and he died. That's just the way it is. Death is a natural part of life. We shouldn't be so surprised by it. We shouldn't be freaking out about it.
Batman can't die.
We shouldn't be using terms like passed away and gone to the other side and we lost them. No, come on, man. He died. Let's use died.
You have anything to say there, Chad? Other than Chad's dealing with the grief. Yeah, he's dealing with the grief right now.
He's in shock. All right, well done.
Okay, and then okay, let's go to the Wonder Woman question. Like the movie happened. What are your thoughts? I didn't see it. Chad didn't see it. Al.
I didn't see it.
What? There's our thoughts. So it's good stuff. Next.
All right.
I actually heard it was good. So
I heard it was great.
I heard it was really bad.
I was amazed at how many people are freaking out about like really dumb stuff, like Gal Gadot's armpits that they were shaven, and there's people like, "How dare!" back in the day, and I'm like, "Dude, read a book." Women have been shaving armpits for like
actually the Egyptians shaved armpits during the Roman period. So obviously the Amazonian warrior woman or whatever she is that what she is?
Amazonian, yeah, that sounds right.
Does that sound right? Or is she like a
warrior? She's an Amazon warrior princess who was virgin born. No, I don't know, but born without where her dad was a god.
Oh,
kind of like Hercules kind of thing.
I think it was Zeus. Good, he
Oh,
Zeus has a lot of kids.
I was
Zeus
gonna say
was gross,
Hercules
actually.
and Wonder Woman are half brother sister.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
Hercules, Hercules, Hercules.
Herc! Hey, Herc! Hey, Herc!
shut up, Newton.
Best
Okay,
show ever.
there's a young woman who encouraged her boyfriend to commit suicide. It was
Fire in his
convicted.
eyes, iron in his thighs.
With the strength
Convicted
of
of
10
involuntary
ordinary men!
Sorry.
manslaughter.
What?
So,
Yes.
Read it again.
girl
Read it
convinced her boyfriend to commit suicide and was convicted of involuntary manslaughter.
That was the weird part, legal guy. Involuntary manslaughter, and she totally told the guy to kill himself like lots. She totally she didn't manslaughter him, and it wasn't involuntary. It was totally on purpose murdering.
Yeah, no, those are just legal terms. We have different levels of things, and you can only convict someone of things that you can prove. One of the great truths of our justice system is that we are considered innocent until proven guilty. So whether we've done it or not really isn't the issue. The state cannot take our freedom, take our money, or take our lives without demonstrating its case to a way that is sufficient to any reasonable person who is watching. And
Well, that's nice, but she did it.
Well, what she did was a form of harassment that did lead to death, and so that's why she was convicted. I don't know if it's under appeal or that's a term.
Manslaughter?
So yeah, well, she didn't kill him.
She didn't give him the knife.
Yeah, she did. She didn't do some of those very directed things. That's the.
But if you hire a hitman, to go kill somebody, you get murder.
Well, that's different. If you hire a hitman to go kill someone, the hitman
Still not your hand.
No, the hitman becomes the instrument by
He's
which
his own
you kill.
hitman. Exactly. He was his own instrument. I don't know.
Well, again, that's why she was convicted. But you have to have. There's a number of things that have to come in to be convicted of murder. You have to have a demonstrable intent to kill.
Yeah.
And
she wanted to be popular
have a demonstrable plan to enact that killing.
Well,
manslaughter is a little different. Manslaughter means you have to have a demonstrable intention to harm, and you have to act on that intention, and it results in death. There's some very, very simple distinctions. They're not quite accurate, but they'll give you a sense of it.
Do the next one, Steve.
Yeah.
Okay. This one, I've read of this. I don't even know what the acronym stands for. LCBO. What does that stand for?
The Liquor Control Board of Ontario.
Okay.
Al's favorite store.
Oh, we'll be opening 150 marijuana stores when
Al's
marijuana is
favorite
legalized.
store.
That's right. Oh, that one boggles my mind. I can't. Well, marijuana is becoming legal on Canada Day.
Yeah, July 1st, I think. Next
No,
year.
it won't be able to come on Canada Day because of just some rules. But,
Right.
Okay.
And
they're bringing it.
they're trying to figure this stuff out, and the government's getting involved, and of course they're going to tax the heck out of this thing. And then LCBO comes out, and they're like, "Well, we already sell liquor. We may as well sell drugs too." And it just boggles my mind that on the day it opens, you're going to have 150 marijuana stores sitting there.
Ready to go.
Isn't that interesting? It's Canada's 150th year. They're going to bring it out, and they're going to open 150 stores. I bet you that's on purpose.
Oh man, I didn't even think of that. Holy mackerel!
It's probably not going. I just love though. I mean, Alberta's a little different, I think, but you got these regulated things. This is just another government bureaucracy. Forget all the morality of the drugs and all that stuff. This is going to be bad because it's government.
The stores are everywhere out here already, and it's not even legal.
Oh, we got them.
Little tiny towns.
Yeah, they're actually going to try and shut those down when the LCBO takes over because they have a regulatory authority in Ontario, and so when it becomes legal, they get the exclusive right of it. It'll actually be harder on these illegal shops than it is now. Because they're going to be violating that scheme, and they have a vested interest in taking them out.
It's crazy. You know what's happening?
When it's just a crime, whatever. But when it costs the government money.
Yeah. Well, it's really crazy right now because you'll get this kid, this 18, 19-year-old kid who's looking for a job, go get a job at a marijuana store, and then they'll get busted. The store will get busted for selling, and this person, because they work there or they're on shift that day, they get totally just up the wazoo with.
So if you're listening to this podcast, you're an 18-year-old kid. Don't go and work in an illegal pot dispensary,
dude. Well, no, don't. Man, oh man.
Join the LCBO. I'm sure they have. It's bureaucratic. I'm sure they have benefits and.
Well, yeah, they take care of
pot, dude.
Medical plans.
You can get air miles buying drugs. Okay, you know what? I'm getting upset. We did an episode on this one.
You get frequent flyer miles, huh?
Oh my god. Frequent higher miles?
You'll be flying high with the LCBO's new marijuana stores.
Okay, next one.
Okay. I'm not sure I'm going to pronounce this right. Pastor Hyun So Lim was released from North Korea's. Say that again.
Hyun Soo Lim.
was released from North Korea's hard labor prison camps. So is this
North
big
Korea's
news?
evil.
Yeah, we established that earlier. North Korea bad.
Chad,
And this guy is. Why was he in the labor camp?
He's a Canadian pastor. He's a Canadian citizen. I think he's got a South Korean ancestry. I know he's got a South Korean ancestry. He was born in South Korea. He got involved with doing charitable work in North Korea because they're extraordinarily poor, in fact, dying under huge, horrible conditions. So they started some orphanages, some poverty alleviating organizations there. And for, now I forget the number of years, but something like 18 years, he's been going over there annually, visiting their charitable works, dropping off supplies and leaving. And this time, for who knows what, the North Korea, they're crazy. They just decided that he was a spy or whatever, and threw him in a hard labor camp. And it was a huge political pressure after that.
He's like 67. Like he's not a young man. He's like 67 years old or something.
And after that Otto whatever guy there died recently, there's been kind of a huge public outcry. I think that China has kind of told them to smarten up a bit.
Dude, it's really, I mean, I'm amazed this pastor is an amazing guy, willing to go to someplace that most people would never visit, let alone go for missionary work. And so for him to go over there for that many years, go through all that, and I bet I'll put money on the fact. I bet he's back. I bet he goes back.
It'd be interesting to see. He may not be healthy enough to. His state of health isn't great.
I don't know. These missionaries are nuts. Missionaries are all nuts.
Something wrong with missionaries. All right, next.
Hey, Amazon.
That's Carnivore Theology official position. I hope that.
Amazon is taking over the world. They bought Whole Foods, taking on Netflix with their own Prime, Amazon Prime, and their Apple. They're not playing nice with Apple anymore. They just merged with Alexa, that cool little talking canister in your house, and they also, what was it? Microsoft's Cortana, the voice.
They merged.
Alexa's Google.
They merged Alexa and
no.
Alexa and Cortana merged. They're going to share brains now.
So Alexa is Amazon's girl, and Cortana is Microsoft's.
And then Apple TV Apple came out with the home box too, the Siri thing, right?
Not to mention the fact that most of your favorite websites, and I mean like a lot of them, they run on Amazon servers. Like it's crazy.
Amazon's huge.
They are like, you don't know it. Like sure, you buy yourself a tea cozy off that thing, but they're basically running the planet. It's like when they start grinding people into Soylent Green and the monkeys take over, they're all going to be wearing like Amazon buttons.
Did you guys see? I don't know if you noticed. Like you probably have Prime accounts, right? So when you look at your Prime account membership, you notice that each of you have an individual 13-digit number, but the first 3 digits are important. Everyone's number is 666 dash.
Liar. You're a liar.
That's fake news.
I had to get mine tattooed on the back of my neck here, actually.
Yeah, it's
in order to access Amazon, you will now need the implanted code.
So are these mega corporations scary to Bible-believing Christians? Is this like the umbrella corporation going on?
I think that mega corporations are a threat to democratic societies. Whether they're a threat to Christians is a different story, but they are a threat to the state because they're a counterpower. They're usually multinational, and they've got different interests, and they're not necessarily out for your good and protection. They're out to make money.
No, you're exactly right.
That can be a bit scary.
Yeah, they're out to make money. I mean, and obviously they're very good at it, and they will go to least common denominator. They will use whatever means necessary. I mean, we had a big argument in the church about Facebook. That someone sent a clip out, and it basically like, did you know Messenger takes your information? And can you believe that Messenger would, Facebook would use all your personal information? And I'm like, duh. No.
That's how they make their money.
Do you know why
they sent that out over Facebook?
Yeah, they did. I got it through Messenger. Do you know why Google's free? Do you know why your email's free? Do you know why Facebook is free? Because you're the product.
Data mining.
They're selling you to companies, right? They're
providing a service to us in exchange. So it's a fair trade.
But you have to realize this. Like you have to realize these giant companies, they're not your friends. They want your money.
You guys probably never read the 75-page legal document that you check off saying that I've read and agreed to when you sign on to social media, right?
Every single word.
Excellent. I'm proud of you all.
No, I did not. No.
Actually, that's become an issue because most people haven't read those, and there's been all kinds of legal challenges about whether they can be valid when people aren't aware of the
no one's read them.
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting area of law, actually. But
Bruce Willis, he wanted to give all of his music to his daughters, and they wouldn't let him. People in I think was somewhere in Europe, they bought a bunch of books on their Kindle, but they used the wrong country's Kindle account, and then Amazon just took them all away. No, you can't do that. You bought them across.
Yeah. Oh, did we just lose Al?
Bye, Al. He's not important anyway. So on with the people we like.
Okay.
Oh, Al's back.
Okay.
Yay, Al's back.
We have 3 more. Do you have time for 3 more, guys?
Go.
Okay. What did you do for Canada's 105th birthday party? And was that important?
Canada is the greatest nation on earth, and we should celebrate how awesome it is. It's an incredible place, and we should absolutely be fully supportive of celebrating how cool we are. I personally went to the fireworks that are awesome in my hometown of Carleton Place, which are better than anywhere in the world because they fire them right at you.
Woo!
Yeah. Paul says in Romans, the authorities that exist are ordained by God. Canada is ordained by God. We're celebrating something that God's put in place.
Darn tootin'.
Good.
Next.
Okay. Solar eclipse happened, and the end of the world did not happen.
Yet one more apocalyptic sign. Good gravy.
Yeah, it's kind of getting depressing that they never come true.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
There are people freaking out, though. Legit freaking out. Like, people had saved up thousands of dollars just to go to, was it North Dakota? Is that where the big one was? And just to be there, just to be there so they could see the solar eclipse in all of its glory.
Yeah, lots of people traveled 8 hours south to go down to Oregon around here. So
honestly, it was cool. I was working, so I have the multiple screens at work, and so on one of my screens, I put up a live video of what was going on at one of those locations, just to kind of keep an eye on it. And I just continued doing my work, and every now and then I'd peek over there. And when it actually came to full, it looked pretty cool, even on video.
You know what?
Got a little darker in our office, and then it kind of lit up. But
I'm going to say something controversial now. You ready?
Yeah.
I don't care. Solar events and space events and all the rest of that stuff, I've tried to care. I can't. Halley's Comet goes by. We have crap in in space happening and all the rest of that stuff. I just don't care. The one thing I did care about that I thought was neat was when they took that microwave and they shot it, gave it legs, and they went and shot it and landed it on a comet that was going like 75 billion miles an hour. I thought that was the coolest thing I've ever heard. That's pretty amazing. But that's engineering, not staring at the space stuff.
Yeah, I quite enjoy events like the eclipse and things like that. But to me, I see the glory of Christ and God and His universe.
I'm going to make this very Jesus for you, El.
Yeah.
The heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky above proclaims His handiwork. Day to day pours out speech, and night to night reveals knowledge. There is no speech, nor are there words whose voice is not heard. Their voice goes out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the earth. In them, God has set a tent for the sun, which comes out like a bridegroom leaving his chamber, and like a strong man runs his course with joy. Its rising is from the end of the heavens, and its circuit to the end of them, and there is nothing hidden from its heat. I looked at the eclipse, and I thought of the glory of God. Al said, I don't care.
I did.
So just compare our spiritualities here and see who is the most humblest spiritualist guy.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. I for sure.
Al's a honey badger.
And that's why occasionally on the mix on my wallpapers, I'll have clouds. I can understand.
I usually have like planets and stars and stuff on my wall.
Okay, let's end on an easy one.
This was really easy. Okay. I think Al can even do this one.
No. We should know, Chad. I mean, I was unfair. Let's give the easy. Wait. No. Go ahead.
What is Antifa? What is this thing that I hear about in the news? That horrible event that happened down in the States. And all of a sudden I hear about this organization, and people are saying that it's evil, and other people say it's great and it's fascism. What's going on?
It's nearly impossible to speak of what is Antifa because it is a uncentralized, massive, diverse movement that's all over the place. It's got some different origins in Europe than it does in the United States. But if you want to give a broad brush and be very careful to understand that that's what it is, and not speaking to everything that they do, it is the kind of opposite equivalent of the alt-right. It's kind of the alt-left. And you always find on the spectrum, when you go down to the ends of, and these are different spectrum, when you go down to the ends of communism and fascism, you get, Hitler and Stalin, who are able to be allies for a while. And both of them are doing many of the same things, controlling the apparatuses of state, murdering people that they don't feel are valuable in their society. And yet they're the supposed opposites of the spectrum of politics. Same thing happens here. Antifa and the alt-right end up doing many things that are very similar in practice, and they're both extreme groups, and probably something for Christians to avoid.
Yeah. Geez. Wow. Okay. Do we have to say that? Yeah. Don't join either one of those.
Well, I shouldn't say probably. Let's back that up. Don't join extreme groups. In fact, the New Testament says, do whatever you can to live at peace with all people. Work quietly with your hands.
Well, I'm just going to burn my Alliance Reform Party memberships that are expired a while ago. I'll just do that now.
Great. Chad's
Okay.
going to burn it. Chad will burn his bra. I'll go burn, I don't know, something else.
Wait, what?
The sign that says City of Champions, you can burn that, Al.
Oh, no.
There's nothing wrong with being active in politics. There's even nothing wrong with, say, attending a protest within a democratic society, because that's part and parcel of what we do. But joining groups that are prone to violence and to extremes and do not live at peace with all men.
That literally use violence as their primary mode of trying to shut down dialogue and things like that.
Yeah, again, some of them. That's where it becomes difficult. There are some people that are associated with the movement, both of those movements, that are much more balanced, as it were, individually. But the fact they're associated with those movements, I find
just
disturbing.
be super careful. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Talk to your pastor. If you just talk to your pastor about stuff like that, unless he's crazy too, in which case go find a better church.
If you want to know what they're like, go get one of those Trump hats, those red Trump hats, and then wear it and go attend an Antifa demonstration. And then get yourself one of those Obama T-shirts and go attend an alt-right demonstration.
Yes.
And well, you probably won't make it. You'd have to do it in reverse order because you die each time. So probably like get someone else do the other one, and then when you
compare notes,
the pearly gates, you can compare notes.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for the rapid fire. So this is the episode 99. We're
probably 99/101 would be my guess.
That's right. Well, like we said, I'm splitting it in half.
We're splitting them in half. So 99 and 100, we will.
No, 99A and 99B.
Okay, I like that better.
Oh, even better.
Okay, and I have a special idea for 100, guys. I'll let you know about it soon.
I have a special idea for 100, even though I've just admitted that 100's gone.
Well, I was like, okay. Well, let's put it this way. I like the 100 layer challenge. So.
The 100 lighter challenge?
Layer
challenge.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay.
Cake. We're having cake. That's what I want.
Anyways, here it is again.
Woohoo!
Look at it. Look at it. It's amazing. It's like printed with the technology of the future. And, just make a comment, share, post, bug us on Facebook.
Anything.
Tweet, how much you like Chad's beautiful eyes.
Yeah, we tried to ask you to do all kinds of things. You didn't do jack squat. So now you literally can do anything you want. We want to give you prizes.
Let us know that you did it.
Anything.
Yeah. Anyways, we have a few of these for people. We want to celebrate the fact that we're still around after 4 seasons and 100 episodes.
And for crying out loud, go share stuff. Man, oh man.
Thank you so much.
We got bulletins and inserts and things like that. Use them. Tell your church, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this has been Carnivore Theology with Chad, Al, and Steve. Check out our website if you want more details about everything else. And watch for these CT shorts. There's going to be a few more of them coming out real soon, too. So, as always...
Don't worry, they're short shorts.
Yeah.
Chad likes short shorts.
Covered in spaghetti.
And as always, we encourage you to connect with your local biblical church. And keep your eyes on the cross and not on L's pants or Chad's pants especially.
No, I didn't make a single meatball joke. Not a one.
Okay, I'm going to turn off the record, guys.
And stop.
Hey, thanks for watching our Carnivore Theology recording of our podcast. Check out down below. See the subscribe button? Click on that if you haven't done it before. We'd love if you clicked like, commented on the video. That'd be awesome. Also, over here, check out our Facebook page, our Twitter page, and also, if you want to ask us a question, we'd love it when people use the SpeakPipe page. So leave us an audio question. Thank you again for watching, and keep your eyes on the cross.